As the 20 richest nations on Earth gathered at the G20 summit, it's time we solve a crisis worse than any we've seen in decades.
President Danielle Sutton, I see you for what you are.
I stood in the same dark place as you when I came back. And I chose a life. I chose service. You chose destruction and death.
You know nothing about me. I've got your family.
You're never gonna make it out of here alive. Mom, watch out!
She's kind of a badass.
I love you, sis. Wait, what is she? What is happening? What is that? What is that? I mean, seriously, what is that? Oh? I love you, sis. Wait, what is she? What is happening? What is that? What is that? I mean, seriously, what is that? Oh?
Alright, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to give infinite and all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Alright, that's who this world ignorantly and incorrectly calls God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew language. Double honors to the true elders and apostles of Yasharallah of Israel who uphold and who preach and who teach the 100% truth of the scriptures. Double honors, what should I say? And we know where the truth lies with the elder and apostles of Great Millstone. Double honors to the beloved elder, the Zakwan of the Men of Israel Camp, the Zakwan Chazak, whom I teach under here in Greenville, South Carolina, and a hearty, wide, healthy shalom to you, Acham wa Agwatham, you brethren and sisters who are diligently and sincerely working out your faith in these last days with fear and trembling towards your salvation. All right, unto you only do I say shalom, and that is Hebrew for peace. This is the Ach Alaya Ban Yahawada, your brother Elijah, son of Judah, and I'm coming with a quick response, a lunchtime response to the movie G20 that was released on Amazon Prime last week. I believe like on Thursday last week. I ended up watching it, because I get Prime free with my job, this and the third, whatever. So when the movie released, I was able to watch it, and when I did, there's a reason why I want to do this response. It's not because the movie was just so good I gotta respond to it. It was due to the first 20 or so minutes of the movie. They show you literally word for word the RFID technology. The RFID. I don't want to say too much because I know me showing these clips alone might be enough to have this video struck down. So I'm gonna try to be wise, man. It showed that technology, and it was being normalized. Of course, they weren't implanted in anyone's bodies like the scriptures describe will be taking place in the near future. However, I saw, spiritually that there was a reason why that term was being thrown around loosely, and, again, was to be normalized, right? They needed that technology to enter and exit buildings. They could be tracked via that technology. A lot of information was being used with that technology. And again, it was spoken in a normal sense, as if this is something that was a normal way of the world. Like, really? What do you mean? Like, you don't have this? You're not doing this? It was being normalized, man. Outside of that as well, there's a talk of a digital currency, a one world order, a one world government, as well as the talk of a digital currency, right? and I seen all this spiritually, because this is what the Bible, the Holy Bible, the scriptures have prophesied of and have told us would come to pass in these last days. So when I see a movie that speaks on these things, especially with America being the forefront, being the forerunner for this agenda, which again is prophesied biblically that this would happen. Of course they want to make Eve, Zion, the face of it, but we know who the true mind and body is that's gonna forward this. It's the Edomites, man, which are the biblical name and nationality for the self-proclaimed so-called white men, women, and children and their descendants, man. They're the ones who the Bible speaks of mandating a technology that's going to be implanted in people's bodies, and where you're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you have it. It's been written, So again, Esau, Edom, like how deceptive they like to be. They want to put Zion's face on it, a so-called black woman's face on it, and have her responsible for it. But in reality, we know who the real puppet master is, man. And then there was this clip that I was able to see on Instagram as well, which, it was all the Lord that allowed me to see it in the time frame He allowed me to see it, because this was a perfect clip to incorporate within this response as well. There's a new Netflix series that's being promoted, and they're showing the brain C-hip technology, man, such as like Neuralink, and other corporations, not just Neuralink, but other corporations as well that are forwarding brain C-hip implants, and it's being normalized, right? You can see right here on the screen, the brother on Instagram, Tazapano_144, Netflix pushing the new metaverse, Elon Musk brain C-hip /MOTB, right? Which, if you don't know what the MOTB is, that's what we're about to get into. Revelation 13 and verse 16 and on down. It says, and normalizing it within the black community, utilizing actors and what for to make it seem normalized that it's that is the thing to do, and it's nothing crazy about it. You mind your business and get yours too. The mark of the BEST, right? And Slakian, forgive me if I butchered that brother's post. But you get the gist of it, man. You get the point, man. And it's the same thing that I was saying. They're even using Israelites, Eve, especially Eve. She's going to follow her Lord, the so-called white man, in everything that he does, promoting it, man. Zion, Eve, she hasn't changed even from the garden, man. It's a loose spirit that the Lord has put in predominantly the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American women, to where they're rebellious to their heads, their husbands, their fathers, man. They want to follow other nations and other men and be like them, so the heathen know this, and they use our own women against us, and it's all for a purpose. The Lord knows that the woman is the weaker vessel, right? He hasn't imputed unto her wisdom innately, and then the men as well, seeking to please the woman, will lower themselves to this same stature and level, and now the whole nation is falling, man. All of Israel has fallen. Ultimately, the Lord is only awakening a remnant within these last days, the few men, women, and elected children, to ultimately be pardoned and to not take part in this wickedness, man, receiving these implants in your bodies, man. And I don't want to ramble on too much, but there's a reason why Netflix and Prime and all these other streaming platforms and services are promoting such technology. It's because this is the way of the world. This is the direction the world is going in, where technology is going to be integrated within the human body. It's already been done. It's already being done. Elon Musk has already been approved for brain trials and bodily implants. People are already walking around with these things and having them. So this is not some sci-fi world or some imaginary place. This is the earth that we're talking about, where these things are not only being pushed in the media, but it's already being done. There are people walking around here with these devices already. Now the media is pushing it to normalize it, man. To cause these things to be household ideologies, household beliefs, because ultimately this is going to grow into the way the world is governed, right? Via Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, women, and child, right? Let's get this. Revelation 13 and 16, just to prove these points, man. We have a ton of lessons and videos already going into this and proving it. So if you don't know what the MOTB is by now, you're slacking, and 9 times out of 10, you may end up getting it yourself, you know, because the Lord has been warning us for a long time now, right? Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this is prophesied to come to pass. This has not happened yet. This will come to pass, right? Where everyone, whether you're small or great, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're in prison or not in prison, right? You're going to have to receive this device within you if you want to be a part of society, be a part of the economy, right? It says to receive a mark in your right hand or in your forehead. So you got the physical bodily implants that can be implanted really anywhere in your body, right? But, you know, the scriptures acknowledge specifically the ones that would be implanted in your hand and in your forehead, right? Which all of these devices, no matter where it gets implanted, you know, it's a part of the same system, the same technology, right? It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And this word mark, when you get it in the Greek, is charagma, right? Charagma, which is how we know that this is not anything imaginary. This is not a thought. This is not an idea. It's not a belief. It's not an emotion. It's not a religion. This is a physically, a physical thing that will be done, right? You won't have to imagine it. It's not something that you imagine and now you got it. No, this is something that, again, will physically be placed within you, right? It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So again, you won't be able to be a part of the economy. You won't be able to buy or sell except you have this technology, except you have this device within you. And again, when you watch this movie G20, they show you, and they're telling you that at the World Summit, the G20 Summit, right, which is a time where the richest nations of the earth come together and they convene and they talk about new world plans, you know, and agendas, man. And this was the main one that America was bringing, a digital economy, a digital currency, you know, for the world, not just for America, for the world. And this has been prophesied in the scriptures, right? This is what we're reading. Revelation 13 and 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, right? And then let's finish it off with this. The judgment for all those who receive it, and the judgment for this place, America, Babylon the Great. Revelation 14 and 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, right? So this place will and has influenced the entire earth, man, the entire world. All nations have bought into certain philosophies and agendas that America has forwarded, just as they're going to buy into this one, a digital economy, a one world government, a one world order that is operative or is operating off of a digital system, right, where anyone and everyone that's a part of it can be monitored and tracked, and their transactions can be traced and controlled at any given moment, at any given time, for any given reason, right? America has been forespoken and foreseen to be destroyed, man. Babylon is gonna fall. Babylon, going back to the Hebrew word babal, which means confusion, right? This is the land not just of confusion, this is the land of great confusion, right? Babylon the Great. It says it's fallen, which we know this judgment that the scriptures describe America to fall in like manner. It's via thermonuclear fire. In this world, in this time, that technology is called ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, man, which will be shot and will rain down upon this place at the climax of World War III, right? At the great judgment of this place, America will be destroyed via thermonuclear fire. All right, it says in Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Right? And just to prove that this word mark is charagma, because you have some people say, you got to prove it. I didn't see that word charagma, prove it. But when you go to it, Strong's G 5480, 5480.
Strong's G 5480, charagma.
Charagma, right? Which means a stamp, an imprinted mark, right? Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-messiahs, those who are against Yahushua, those who are against the Bible, those who deny the truth of the scriptures. You're going to be the ones that receive this device. The mark branded upon horses, right? When you think about when a horse is branded, right? That's a physical cutting and etching and a burning in their flesh, right? When you brand an animal, you know, they sear hot iron and then they force it onto the skin, and it leaves an engraving, a cutting in their flesh. That's what this is going to. It says a thing carved, sculpture, a graven work of idolatrous images. So again, this is a physical thing that will be cutting into your flesh, which goes and is spoken in reference of the syringe that is going to be used to inject this digital device within you. It's going to cut into your flesh and it's going to inject that device, which there are many videos where they explain that's how simple the procedure is. It's like getting a shot, you know. As it says, Strong's definition, a scratch or etching. That's what's going to be, again, it's that syringe is going to be scratching into your flesh, and it's going to leave you with that device on the inside, right? As it says, Revelation 14:10, whoever receives this device, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you're going to see these people be destroyed here in America, Babylon the Great, via thermonuclear fire. Everyone that has that device that's here in America, when America gets destroyed, you're going to find yourself numbered amongst the melted, amongst those who are blasted away to dust, right? And the holy angels and the Lamb, Yahushua, is going to behold that destruction. They're going to watch you be destroyed here in America. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So this is not saying that you guys are going to be here burning in America forever and ever and ever. Absolutely not. Yeah, the fire is going to burn for a long time, because this place, again, is going to be destroyed via thermonuclear fire. That fire, you know, it's not going to be put out. It's going to die down naturally, which is going to take some time. But what this is talking about is the memorial that's going to be left over this place of all those who were destroyed here, man. That's going to be known forever and ever, right? It's going to be known forever and ever how America was destroyed via thermonuclear fire, and how all the people of this land who were a part of it burned here as well, man. Outside of the elites, man. We know the scriptures talk about the elites being gathered together from their bunkers and from wherever else they sought refuge. They're going to be gathered up and be taken into captivity, you know, under the kingdom of heaven. You know, they're going to be, you know, servants and handmaids in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, that's just what is written. Revelation 14:12, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father in the faith of Yahushua, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. So again, we understand what we believe. We know that we aren't to desire to take part in these things when it's mandated, when they threaten you, when they say, you know, you can't be a part of the society, you can't buy and sell, you can't have a home, you can't have goods and resources, you can't have our protection, this, that, and the third, unless you have this device. You're going to have a lot of people, even Israelites, who, because of their lack of faith and lack of hope, they're going to buy into that, and they're going to receive the device, and they're going to be destroyed, contrary to popular belief. Those who the Lord has set up not to receive that device, they're going to be ultimately preserved, man. They're going to be delivered from the said evils, the said perils. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to deliver them, the elect of Israel only. Not any and everybody who wants to be saved, but those of Israel who are chosen from the foundation of the world. They are going to be delivered, and they're not going to receive this device. So with that, I just wanted to come, the movie, watch it. It is slightly entertaining. I had to actually go back and watch it again because the last hour of the movie I was distracted. But just watch it for yourself and listen to how they describe and how they talk about this, man. This is a part of their agenda and their intentions behind the forwarding of technology. It's to enslave you, and ultimately you will be destroyed if you're caught up in it, man. So with that, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Lord willing, this was edifying to the sincere, hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Till next time, Acham wa Achwathiam, brothers and sisters, I want to give infinite and all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Quadash, Wa Abad Babal. Death to the wicked. Shalom.